Hello everyone, my name is Francisco Javier Sanchez Alvarez. I am an English teacher at El Tecnológico de Lázaro Cárdenas, and I am recording this video to share with you my point of view about the communicative language teaching. It really makes sense that communication is very important when we are learning a new language because it's basically the practice of all this process. People who want to be chefs, they need to cook. People who want to play an instrument, they need to spend hours with the instrument practicing. So if our students want to be fluently, they need to practice in English. They need to learn how to use the language. And the more they communicate in English, the more they practice and the more they improve. When people start learning a new language, what makes them feel confident is that they have a good oral communication. And that is even what makes them feel motivated because it's making them produce the language by themselves. We need to take the students to the main point. And what is that? Communicate. Use the language, transmit a message, interact. The reason why people learn a new language is that they want to interact, share ideas, express feelings, transmit emotions, or exchange information. We humans are social beings and we are meant to build connections with others. And taking this into account, this must be one of our main goals as teachers and lead the students to this final result. Sometimes the main problem in a classroom when you are teaching English is the lack of interaction. Let's think about chefs. When they are learning to cook, if you just focus in the theory or how to bake and never practice or perform the activity, then you will never reach the main goal. Or imagine that you want to learn to play an instrument. Sooner or later, you will get bored if you only study the theory and you never practice. You have to be always, improving. And in order to improve, you need to experiment the sensation of mastering a new skill. People are not very patient. And once students get bored, they lose interest. And so they stop learning because theory or grammar, in this case, causes effect when you focus only on it. Oral communication involves listening and speaking, but it's even important to develop writing, grammar, and reading skills. We need to update the methodologies according to the circumstances, like the age. For example, kids will never understand grammar rules or abstract concepts. Other circumstances to take into account are the level, the tools that are available in the classroom, the attitude of the students, and learning styles. Sometimes we have weaker students who will never participate or understand what we meant. We have to use various approaches and methodologies to teach language depending on the aims of the lesson and the abilities of the learners. Since it is possible while you're living in Mexico be surrounded by a whole English environment, our process will be slower than those who are in English-speaking countries because the ones who can be in touch with the language 24/7 will be exposed in situations which will force them to use in order to survive. And what makes them practice them? And that makes them practice. And practice makes perfect. And the more you listen, the more you will speak and produce the language. The same process we had when we were babies. That's why grammar is important. Even if we do not listen enough of the language daily through vocabulary, we can create the language for ourselves without memorizing all phrases native use, which learners will not listen because besides series, songs, audiobooks, and teachers, that is not enough to start speaking. And grammar help you to start structuring phrases, which you will never listen, but you will be sure that they can be right if you follow the rules. But we cannot only focus in one skill because everything matters here. We don't have to focus only on one skill. It's like when you want to build muscles. You can be strong with your arms if you focus only in lifting weights. But what about legs? You will look awkward, and it's the same thing with the language. You can sound weird if you don't have a good strong knowledge in grammar or pronunciation, or if you don't remember how to write some words as a professional. This can cause some trouble. Imagine that in your job the only way to transmit a message is by writing a letter to your boss. that even if you are a very good speaker, writing can cause you a bad impression if you don't know how to create a good speech. That's why I pretend to improve the communication skills in my students, ensuring more variety in my classroom activities and teach language skills in integration. I will lay more emphasis on skills development rather than the subject knowledge. We need to integrate from the beginning the four skills, like speaking, listening, reading, and writing, since communication integrates the different skills. So I will use more communicative activities for enhancing my students' listening, reading, and writing abilities. Thank you so much, and I hope that you really enjoyed this. These are my points of view, and I'm very sorry because this video will be kind of late, but well, I have coronavirus and I have been very tired, and well, there's a lot of things to do, but well, anyway. You're not here for excuses, but at least I try and I gave you my point of view. Thank you so much. Have a good day, and thank you for listening to me. Thank you for listening to me.